Welcome back to my video here. This is Pedro Fame. So today we're going to be going ahead and getting into the new Apple event that just happened, WWDC. I am super glad to announce to you guys that pretty much the stuff that I pretty much talked about in my last video pretty much came to fruition. I'm super happy to say that Apple had their best event that they've ever had at this one. Mostly just because of the Reality Pro headset came out. And yes, you did hear me right. We are going to be talking about that. That's probably going to come in a separate video. I don't want to have it in this one because there's so much is already going to be packed into this video. The Reality Pro headset video is going to be its own separate video. I'm going to be dropping these back to back pretty much. So this is going to come first. Then the Reality Pro video is going to be dropping later today. So this is going to be coming out. It's right now 3:22, probably going to be coming out closer to about 5:30 maybe, and then the Reality Pro coming at night. But like I said, stay tuned, make sure to like, subscribe, and notification bell. Let's get into this video here. So obviously the first thing that came out was the MacBook Air 15-inch did come out. I am so happy to announce that did come out. I can finally recommend the MacBook Air to anybody. It is now officially one of the better products. We can go right now into the ordering guide. You can order it today, and it'll be available on the 13th. They have now changed the prices. Thank God they lowered it by $100 on the 13-inch MacBook Air, which I now can say is the better option. For one reason, you can go to the 13-inch. You can now. Let's say, you know what, you're still on the fence of what you want to get. I can now confidently say, go with this regular edition, right? The $1099, and all you do is just upgrade the storage. Upgrade the memory to 16 gigabytes, and go from there. And if you want, I would honestly say to get the 70-watt USB-C power adapter and go ahead and go right into it. It's $13.20. It's really good price on a 13-inch MacBook Air. That gives you 256 gigabytes of storage, SSD storage, 16 gigabytes of unified memory, and the 8-core CPU, 8-core GPU. I don't think you need the 10-core because that doesn't give you much headroom. It's not big of a difference. I think they said it was like 10% difference, if that. So it doesn't really give you too much more headroom on that option, to be honest with you. If you really did want it, you could go with this option here, the pre-configure option of the 8-core CPU, 10-core GPU, and the 512 gig storage option. Again, preferences up to you on that one. But with the new 15-inch, if you want something bigger display with the same capabilities of the M2, obviously, with the great thing about the 15-inch is it already comes standard with the 10 CPU. The only problem is you still only get 8 gigabytes of memory. I would have liked for them to have done the 16 gigabyte option. Of RAM. I still don't understand why that's not a commonplace thing. And you can now get the 70-watt or the 35-watt dual USB-C port compact adapter as standard instead of having to pay an additional $20 like you would on a 13-inch option. So this one, I would option it. Again, I would need the 16 gigabytes, and you're looking at about $1,500. And if you wanted storage, additional $200, which is insane that Apple still charges you $200 for storage when you can just get an SSD, put everything on the SSD, and literally for $200 you can get like a 1 terabyte, like a 2 terabyte SSD that works just as good. So don't pay Apple's insane prices for storage. It's just the Apple tax on that. Don't do it. For the memory, yes, it's extremely important because it's soldered on, so you can't add any. Please go with either 16 or 24 gigabytes of RAM. You're going to need it. And this one, like I said, already comes with a 10 GPU. So it's not like you can go down to an 8 GPU to make it cheap or anything. It's okay. It's not a big problem. Just go with the 16. And like I said, it comes June 13th through the 15th. It's free. It's awesome that Apple is doing this. I do love that the MacBook Air has now gone to 15 inches. But we're going to go ahead and move on to my favorite product, only because I have one. That's my main editing machine, and it is the Mac Studio. Also, you can order it today. It comes by the 13th. It's been updated with the M2 Max, M2 Ultra. I did know that they were gonna do that. I don't know if I put that in my video. I think I should. I think I did. But it is totally well worth it. Now comes with the M2 Max, M2 Ultra. Also does come with an HDMI 2.1. Thank the heavens. They finally added that now to the Max. Is it worth buying over an M1 Max or Ultra? No. This is only good if for somebody that was needing a little more performance in the Max and Ultra, but didn't want to fully upgrade at that time to this one. Now that this is a good option. If you have an M1 Max, M1 Ultra, do not upgrade. It's not worth it. It's 20% difference. You're not going to see that difference in what you do on a day-to-day basis. For everybody, please do not get an M1 Mac. Do not get an Mac Studio, with the M2 Ultra. Please don't do that. It is so worthless when the Mac Pro that just got announced, we'll be talking about later, would be the better option, because if you need that power, you're probably going to need the modularity as well. So please don't get the M2 Ultra. It's so not worth it. Just get an M2 Max. There's so many different options that you can choose from on that basis. Look at the different options you can go to. You could go to a 38-core GPU and a 16-core neural engine just for $200, and it gives you 8 more cores of GPU. That's actually a pretty big difference there. You can go up to 64 gigabytes of RAM. That's probably a big option for a lot of people. So if you think about it, if you spec this to 64 with, let's say that, or the great thing with the Max is you can go to if you get that option, go to 96. So let's say you go to 96, you need this. You're pretty much already there with the M2 Ultra. You don't really need to go up any further. You can see that it starts at 512. Obviously, if you're going to this one, you're probably going to be looking in the 1 to 2 terabyte range. Go to 1 terabyte, boom. You spent $3,200, but you got your perfect mix and match options available to you. Now, awesome thing, like I said, that was the only thing that changed, was just the HDMI port went to 2.1. That's it. And obviously the M2 Max and M2 Ultra were now, or the M2 Ultra was announced. M2 Max was already out, but it was now, the configurations are now to be able to put in the Mac Studio. Nothing else design-wise or anything like that changed. So it was a pretty short one for me, but obviously the ones that everybody was looking forward to. If you're a ginormous user and if you were a Mac Pro user before, you finally have Apple Silicon now available. Also available right now, you can get it. It'll come next week. So another cool thing, you can get it vertically or you can get it standing up. I would get it standing up. I get it. There will be reasons for vertical bounce, but you shouldn't pay $500 for that. That's just, sorry, just stupid. Comes already with the M2 Ultra. You can pick which versions, not the base one or the insane one, for $1,000. Oh my God, I can only imagine paying $1,000 just for an extra 16 cores. You start off with the memory of 64. Obviously, if you're buying this machine, you're probably needing 100 plus. I couldn't imagine being a 64 and then buying this product and not just getting the Mac Studio at that point. And then obviously in this product, you're probably looking for an insane storage options. So I would probably go to 2 to 4 terabytes, to be honest with you. It already comes with the Magic Mouse. If you like, I would not get it. I would just get pay the $5 for the Magic Trackpad, because it's way better than the Magic Mouse, to be honest with you. And then this is what comes in the box. So it comes with the keyboard already. Comes with a Lightning to USB-C for some reason. Oh, I'm sorry. That's if you get the Magic Mouse. So if you get the Magic Trackpad, it still does come with it, because Trackpad is still Lightning for some reason. It comes with a power cord, and it comes with obviously the Mac Pro itself. So you could spend $9,849 for a Magic Trackpad, 4 terabytes, and then the higher option. But let's say you want to go with the normal option, still 128, still the 4 terabytes. You're paying $8,849. Let's say you don't need 4, you just need 2 terabytes. You could be paying $8,249. So this is, like I said, really more for people that really need the high-end stuff. just depending on what you're looking for, to be honest with you. But that is it for the Mac Pro. And then here is the iOS stuff. iOS was okay. I think I put down that it was a very okay update. It wasn't big, it wasn't great. But here are some things that you guys can go ahead and expect. This is going to be coming out in the fall for obviously when the new iPhone drop is when the new iOS drops. It's called Apple Day. That is for you guys if that's what you guys are. If you guys are not on the beta program, I am on the beta program, so I get it in July. When it comes to public beta in July, I'll be doing a video on all of this, so you don't worry about it. Next month, you guys will see me do iPadOS, iOS. I don't think macOS comes out that much earlier, so don't expect that to be at that time. So it's going to be pretty much, this is what's going to be going on here. So you're going to be having profiles now. So like somebody calls you, you're going to see like you can see their emoji, or you can see a picture of them before they call you, so you can see exactly who it is, who's calling you, and why they're calling you, obviously. Another great thing is that you can more annotations, animations on stickers, being able to put that in text and things like that. When you turn your phone sideways, when it is off, you can now see it like little things that you can see, like the weather. You can see obviously time. You can see calendar stuff, any reminders and things like that. So those are really cool updates. The journal app, which is for mental health. So if you want to chronicle your daily things that you did every day, this is going to help you out with suggestions, what to type, what to put in there, and you're able to do it daily. The journaling app is not going to come out till later this year, so I'm going to guess after it has already been released. So this will not be in the public beta. I will not be able to tell you what this app really 100% every features like that first. So that's what, yeah. So this is pretty much customized what you see, what you call, live transcriptions of the voicemail, so you're able to pick up a call while seeing what they're saying. So if you notice if it's somebody that you really need to pick up, go ahead and pick it up. While they're making the voicemail, they're able to do that. You're also able to transcribe on FaceTime calls, so they're able to leave you like a voice message. You can see them, and then you can answer it if it's important. All your iMessage apps are going to be, instead of it down while you're typing in a distracting form, it's now going to be a swipe up feature to let you see everything. I don't think that's a better one. I think that's worse. I liked it much better when it was on the actual screen, but I'll see how that is and I'll let you guys know. I love this check-in feature. I personally would love to use this with my mom. I know this is something that she would have always liked on iPhone to have, is in case, because I walk a lot around my neighborhood and things like that. So for her, this would be awesome to know when I got home and from doing a walk and things like that. So it's going to be a great feature to have. I'm going to use this a lot, so I'll let you guys know how this works more in depth as I use it. Obviously, catch up feature, you're able to in group text to go back, see what somebody said, the first message that they said starting the conversation, so you're not lost when you're in it. Obviously, better search filters for exactly what you're looking for. When audio messages are now seen, instead of you having to click on it to see exactly what they said, you can just read it down below. It transcribes it for you. And a new way of sharing and viewing locations in the message app, being able to send that to them. Awesome things, obviously, for you to use. Live photos, FaceTime's pretty much the same on Apple TV. You can now FaceTime you can have FaceTime added on along with SharePlay. You just have to turn your phone vertically on the side there so it can see you. That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, interactive widgets is now a cool thing. So now you can, instead of having, when you click it, it goes right into the app. You can just do it right from the widget, like how you see here in the reminders or on the HomeKit app, where you can just tap it, turn on the light. On the left hand side for the reminders, you just click it. You're able to hit the reminder, and it gets off the screen there. AirDrop was probably the best feature to me. You can share each other's information directly just by by putting each other's phones near each other. By the way, Samsung has already had that for a while, and there was a lot of features that Android already has, but this is just something that now Apple's deciding to finally do, which took so long. I don't know why. You're able to AirDrop the same way through this way. As long as they're still in the same range as you, you can walk away and their photos can still be sending to you instead of it automatically going away right when you close the phone off. That's a really cool things. You can on CarPlay now, you can hit share play, and while somebody's, listening to music, instead of you having to change Bluetooth to get it to theirs, they can just join your session and they can change the music from there. Cool feature there as well. Like I said, coming later this year, not coming out when the betas or when Apple Day comes. So wait for this. This is probably going to be an October, November thing. So that's going to be interesting to see how that journaling works. Nothing else really was that major. Oh, AirPods got a major update there with adaptive audio. So now if you have AirPod Pro 2 generations, they're the only ones, by the way, that get this feature. So if you have any other, if you have the AirPod Generation 1s or AirPod Max or anything like that, they don't have it. The only one that has it is the AirPod Pro 2nd generation. The AirPod Max 2nd generation, when that comes out later this year, will also have it. So get ready for that. It's just a really cool ability that lets you, when, let's say you're outside, you put it in to adaptive audio mode, it will switch between noise cancellation and transparency. So if it notices somebody is saying something to you or the environment going around you has a noise that you should be aware of, it will automatically turn itself into transparency. When it notices like jackhammers, construction, bad noises that you don't want to hear, it will switch it into noise cancellation mode. So that's really cool ability there. It just changes throughout your environment throughout the day. So I love that feature for sure. And then you're able to download maps even on your offline mode, so you can see where you're at even without connectivity. So this is really good for people who like going to national parks where there's no real ability to have cellular connection. Another big thing they didn't really talk too much about it, I don't know why, but also on the maps is you're able to see real-time charging stations availability all with Apple's CarPlay. I didn't really see anything else. I know the health app, that's a little bit more things. Oh yeah, iOS 7 compatibility. It has now dropped the 8 and the X. So you can no longer have the iPhone 8 is now not supported anymore, and the iPhone 10 is no longer supported. So if you have any of those devices, you can no longer use it. It's gone. You just can't. iOS 17 is only going to be coming to the iPhone SE 2nd generation and XR and up. So that's going to be not that big of a deal. I don't think that many people have the X and the 8 anymore nowadays anyways, but just to reiterate, those are going to be gone. And then when the next iOS update comes out, I have heard already that you have to have the 11 or up. They are going to be losing the XS, XR, and the SE will all be dropped from the iOS 18. So that's just a little forewarning that either get an 11 or up, or you're going to get lost. I'm just saying that's just what I've been heard and pretty much know. Let's go into iPadOS. iPadOS pretty much got same things as the iPhone OS, and so that pretty much what iOS got last year is everything that the iPadOS 17 got. It was really lackluster. Really, I'm going to breeze through it. So the lock screen, same thing that you're able to do on the iOS now on your lock screen from iOS 16, you're able to do now on iPadOS 17. They've always done that, but this year's was a really small update. You're able to do motion effects, live photos. You're now able to do that on iPhone as well. able to do multiple timers, been able to do that on iPhones already. Live activities, been able to do that on iPhones already. Interactive widgets, same thing I just said, they're able to do on iOS now. Same thing, messages hasn't changed. Really, same thing. Literally the exact same things as iOS 17 that I just said. It's the exact same things coming to iPadOS. Nothing else changes. They added the health app, which is so stupid. They should have done this from the very jump. The iPhone and the Apple Watch has had it forever, for years and years and years, but they finally did it. PDF is now coming into the notes section and also coming as its own app. I don't think nothing else. Freeform got a new flexible layout. Stage Manager, has a new flexible layout. Freeform has now gotten some quirky updates. You're using an external camera for FaceTime calls now. So like the camera that I have mounted onto here, if I have my iPad, I can now use that for FaceTime instead of using the iPad's camera. That's about it. So going to move on to macOS. Sonoma's. This one was pretty interesting. It was decent. It was definitely a decent one coming. I liked it personally. I know some people are going to be like, oh, that was very basic. But they said that macOS was going to be the most basic out of them all. And that was iPadOS, and watchOS got some big updates too. But definitely iPadOS was the most disappointing for sure, when last year that was probably the strongest suit. New screensavers that you're able to use now. Widgets are finally come to the home screen. You can use them directly on the home screen. They dim when you're using a application, which is really nice, so they're not distracting. You're able to access widgets that you have on your iPhone now on your Mac. You don't have to have it exclusively on your Mac, which is awesome. Video conference, you're able to put yourself in the center or in a bubble for your video conferencing, and be able to put whatever your work is in the background when you're the main subject, and when you're in the bubble version, your screen is still the biggest thing visible for everybody in your like smallest screen. Other people are now able to use gestures to make it seem like whatever you're saying is really nice. As you can see here, with your hands, and you're able to do the celebratories. You're able to share images on Zoom, things like that. So anything you want to share personally, you're able to do it through your Mac in a really nice, easy way. Obviously, you can still use your phone as your center camera. Safari was really cool with the able to create profiles, so individual profiles like home and school. You're able to have different favorites attached to that, which is really nice, by the way. At least that's something that students will use a lot. That's really nice to have. And then you're able to use any website like an app. To me, this was the biggest thing that they put out there, because I think this is going to be great. You're able to use it as like a doc, it's called a web app. So you're able to, whatever website you're able to use, you're able to put it down as in like an app now. So it's really cool. I like that feature a lot. I think this is going to be huge for Mac, for more Mac users, and I'm definitely going to use this a lot for sure. So I'm super glad to see that this is available now. And then all the same things from iOS and iPadOS comes to macOS. That's pretty much the rest of it there. So like I said, pretty decent. You're now able to use a gaming mode. There's a gaming mode now, so it dedicates CPU and GPU power, dedicated strictly more to the game, to level up your gaming performance, to decrease low latency, and you're still able to use your favorite controllers and AirPods. Lockdown mode is now available for this. So if you are in a cyber attack or in the middle of one, or you feel like maybe one could happen, you can now use lockdown mode, and it will now do to all devices, including the Apple Watch now. So those were some cool things you can see what's compatible: 2018 and up Air, 2018 and up Pro, 2017 iMac, 2019 iMac. I think it's almost the same Mac Studio that just came out. Nothing like that changed, but watchOS did have some pretty big updates for that. We did expect that to have big updates like it has. I apps that never leave the corners. So now you have corners on every app now that you can use to quickly scroll through information. You have smart stacks now included into the home screen. Now that's really cool with just the scroll of the dial. Really cool initiative. You can now enter the control center straight from the side now, where before that leads to that. Instead, now you can use it for control center, which is really nice. A lot of health and fitness with cyclings. Nothing that really pertained to me, to be honest with you. Mental health app will now tell you to, try to change your mood so you won't be so down all the time. Your vision health. Yeah, this is how much time you spent in the daylight. So this is pretty much really telling you how your eye vision is when it comes dedicated now into the health app. So now you can see how your vision is doing. That was pretty much it. This tells you all the ones that are now integrated. I did hear for the next one. This is and also for WatchOS 10, you have to have a device that has iPhone XS or more. You cannot have anything else below that, or XR. So it's the same thing with the iOS 17. So it's not compatible no longer with anything less than that. Really good update for you guys to know. So if you have a 10 or an 8, let's say, and you didn't care about the iOS updates, you do want to care, because if you have an Apple Watch, it will not work on it. So you need to update the phone along with the watch for this. I did hear in the next one that the SE is going to get dropped along with the 4 series, potentially the 5 series as well. Then it could be the 6 and up. So watch out for WatchOS 11, that there's going to be some big drops. I heard on that one, like really big drops. The 4, the SE, and the 5 are all going to be dropped for iOS 11 or for WatchOS 11. So for future purposes, know that if you have a 4, 5, or SE, you may want to look to upgrade pretty soon, because they're going to get dropped for WatchOS 11. And that was it for you guys. So that was the big Apple WWDC event. Like I said, I'm going to be covering the virtual reality with you guys in a next video. This is not going to become this video, because this one's already 27 minutes, about to be 28 minutes. So that one's going to be its own dedicated 10 to 15 minute episode, video itself. So make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys for watching my latest video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.